This is interesting. There is a Bible story uh, involving a town named Ziklag. And I'll show you a picture in just a second, but Ziklag. And it is where the character David of David and Goliath fame lives for a while he's being persecuted. It's like his safe space. It's the place from which David can plan counterattacks. And that town's name, Ziklag, is now being used by a lot of really rich Christian zealots who want to basically take over the world. This is an article from ProPublica where they said, inside Ziklag, the secret organization of wealthy Christians trying to sway the election and change the country. And what this very disturbing article boiled down to is that a lot of wealthy Christians have given a lot of money to this project that basically helps Republicans mobilize their base before the election and kicks Democrats off the voter rolls in swing states. That's where the money is going, all in the name of Jesus. Like, they're not just trying to get out the vote, they're trying to actively suppress the votes of their opponents. And the people who are paying for this to happen have like an unlimited pool of money to spend toward these efforts. Okay. They're trying to become the Christian nationalist version of the Koch brothers. And with that kind of cash, there's no telling how influential they could be. So let me show you a couple excerpts from this article, because what ProPublica's reporters were able to find were documents, internal documents that kind of laid out what they want to do. We are in a spiritual battle and locked in a terrible conflict with the powers of darkness, says a strategy document that lays out Ziklag's 30-year vision to redirect the trajectory of American culture toward Christ by bringing back biblical structure, order, and truth to our nation. Like, holy shit, that's their mission statement? That is horrifying. And the donors behind this effort, they said, they have about 125 donors so far, which doesn't seem like a lot. But if you're a new member, you're supposed to have at least $25 million sitting in your bank account. Doesn't mean all of it's going to Ziklag, but it means you have that sort of money to spend. And that's disturbing, right? I'll show you another excerpt here. Here we go. These previously unreported plans are the works of a group named Ziklag, a little-known charity whose donors have included some of the wealthiest conservative Christian families in the nation, including the billionaire, I don't know how to pronounce it, Ulian family, who made a fortune in office supplies. That family, by the way, gives a lot of money to Republicans in Illinois, where I'm from. The Greens, who run Hobby Lobby and the Museum of the Bible and all that. And the Wallers, who own the Jockey Apparel Corporation. Recipients, so Ziklag takes in all this money. What do they do with it? Well, they hand it out to the groups that are doing the work they want. Recipients of Ziklag's largesse include Alliance Defending Freedom, the Christian hate group. It's the Christian legal group that led to the overturning of Roe v. Wade, plus the national pro-Trump group Turning Point USA, that's Charlie Kirk's group, and a constellation of right-of-center advocacy groups. So basically, Ziklag is taking money from wealthy Christians and giving it out to right-wing hate groups that already have so much money. They don't need more. I'm going to mess this up, but I read this months ago, and it stayed with me ever since. Like, left-wing media is just a handful of people who give each other like $5 at a time to pay for subscriptions. Right-wing media is just an infinite pool of money pouring in to spread whatever propaganda you want. Like, that's the game we are currently in. The people who want you to get misinformation have so much money, they never have a paywall, and they just want you to spread their BS. And the actual good reporters who have thoughtful articles and do the homework, they are begging for subscribers everywhere they go. It's so frustrating. So kudos to ProPublica for pointing this out. Like, right now they have assets of $12 million, Ziklag does, and that's a drop in the bucket, I know. But it's the potential of what they could do that's more disturbing, because their goal is to further the conservative Christian cause by giving money out to all these groups. This was also interesting in the piece. ProPublica and Documented, which worked on this together, they presented the findings of their investigation to 6 nonpartisan lawyers and legal experts. All expressed concern that Ziklag was testing or violating the law. it casts serious doubt on this organization's status as a 501c3 nonprofit organization. I think it's across the line without a question, said another professor. So they're acting like they're a nonprofit. And by that, they mean like they support a cause, but not candidates. And they very clearly are supporting candidates here by doing whatever it is they're doing. So that's disturbing. I think there's only one other thing I want to share with you about this organization right now. Um, I should say this tactic of supporting candidates, that's not new. I've talked about this before. Many pastors actively endorse candidates from the pulpit, practically begging the IRS to come after them and revoke their tax exempt status. And the IRS hasn't done a damn thing about it. So in this case, the ability of being tax exempt, I mean, maybe it doesn't mean much to the millionaires, billionaires who are funding them, but the loss of anonymity of being a real nonprofit, that could be a bad thing if they had to give that up. Um, so what's the goal? What are they trying to accomplish, this organization Ziklag? Well, their own documents say they want to take dominion over the 7 mountains. And if you are not familiar with the 7 mountain mandate, you should get really familiar with that, because the 7 mountain mandate basically refers to Christians taking over religion, family, education, entertainment, media, government, and business. They want to take over every aspect in order to influence every aspect of our lives. I mean, when it comes to education, what would that mean? That means destroying the public school system by pushing for private school vouchers and homeschooling and making sure taxpayer money funds private Christian schools. That's what I mean by taking over that mountain. Um, in case you're wondering, because I was, how did they take over entertainment? Because they suck at entertainment. And one of the things they reported in this piece is that they want to make sure 80% of all movies are rated G or PG. Like they have to be family friendly, which feels like a goal that is out of their control. Like I have no problem with family friendly movies, but also I don't want to watch those movies. They're boring. I want to watch actual thoughtful movies made for adults. And they're saying, like, yeah, we're going to put a stop to a lot of those. I don't know how they do that, but that is definitely one of their goals. Also, I'm assuming one of their goals is like Kirk Cameron and Kevin Sorbo have to star in every movie, and that's just part of the plan. I don't know how they're going to accomplish that, but that is the thing. Okay, seriously. Last thing I wanted to point out that this is interesting. How are they going to do the voter suppression? How are they going to purge Democrats off the voter rolls? Well, this is in the article as well. Check this out. According to an internal video, Ziklag plans to invest $800,000 in Eagle AI's Clean the Rolls project, which would be one of the largest known donations to the group. So basically, they're using AI software to identify which voters they shouldn't be on the rolls. We need to get rid of them. Maybe they haven't voted in a while or something, and they want to get them off the list so that they can't vote if they just so happen to feel inspired this time around. Well, guess what? NBC News ran an article just this week, separately from that ProPublica piece, but check this out. Eagle AI, a database founded by a retired physician, pairs large swaths of public data with voter rolls and allows activists to peruse the data in search of outdated or inaccurate voter registrations. Activists then bring their findings to elected officials or, in states where it's permitted, formally challenge voters' eligibility themselves. Oh, but look at this. In recordings of calls among members of 2 prominent election integrity groups this spring and summer obtained by NBC News, some conservative activists are finding major problems with the programs. North Carolina database is completely non-functional. I love this for them. They're investing all this money into crappy software that doesn't even do the voter suppression that they want. Glorious. I love that Christian millionaires are going to be wasting their money on this stuff. How good is that? I mean, it they'll find something else to waste their money on. It won't be good, but a little bit of a silver lining to all of this. I think if nothing else, you should just be aware of that name, Ziklag, and be on the lookout, because this is a way to get a lot of Christian money into Republican projects, right? And I just want to also just say, think about where these wealthy Christians are spending their money. They're not using it to help the poor or feed the hungry or even inspire people to become Christians through their good works. Nope, they don't give a shit about any of that. They just want to force their will upon the entire country, and they will use their money and power to do it. I'll stop there. Oh, what other questions we got? And then I got one last story for you. Help stop the spread of misinformation. Yes, I'm the only true source of information. No, I'm one of many, but you can like the stream, hit the subscribe button, costs you nothing. It does help. I appreciate, Elizabeth, that you said this helps get Friendly Atheist and team. Like for these live streams, I have a team of Den, and he's awesome, but I have a team of one. And outside of Den, my team is me and the people at Panera. But I appreciate that. Thank you so much.